Joey B, man, with stats in hand, spilling numbers like grains of sand. Fancy talking about diamond dreams, chasing players, whispering their schemes. Oh, Welsh, breaking it down real slow, voices howling in the radio's glow. Talking monsters on the baseball field, wizards swinging bats and magic shields. Fantasy baseball in the night, podcasters giving us that sight. Question marks and stars collide, dreams of glory never hide.
Welcome in to FantasyPros MLB. This is a leading off live with me. It's a me, Mario, and that is my brother. He's a Luigi, and together the two of us, we make it a pairing. Welsh, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to speak in a very stereotypical voice just for the opening about an Italian plumber. Go ahead, you can talk like me if you like.
Mario, thank you for giving me the pass, and thank you to allow me to bring back the Luigi name to the Mario Brothers. Hey!
My goodness, we are two handsome guys, that's all I know. And we got all kinds of baseball for you, for your face, for your ears, for your eyes, and for your cockles. We've got it all for you. So we're going to go through, we have a prospecting with the Welsh, we got the injuries, we got so many things. It's going to be amazing. And why are we dressed like this? I'll tell you why. Because we hit the 25,000 subscribers on the channel. Nobody said we could do it, and we did it. And we are so proud. And we said we would dress up again every time we hit a new mark. So the question is, what are we going to do when we get to 30,000 next time?
Not to talk like this, Mario. Not to keep going with this voice.
All right. I can barely talk out of this mustache.
Can you breathe in that thing?
This mustache seems absurdly large. I mean, I have to almost like, yeah, that's not better. I don't know what's going on. This mustache came and it was enormous. I mean, I don't know what they're making this mustache. I gotta like flip it up here so you can hear my voice. It's gonna fall off at some point, but we're here for you.
Is mine as well. By the way, for the audio listeners, we're dressed as Mario and Luigi. I can't do impressions, so people are mentioning I sound like Gru in there. So
and it's not upside down. I thought it was upside down too. It's not.
No, you have to wear them like this. Mine is ridiculous here, but thank you for 25,000. I will tell you, we almost had an extra surprise, Mr. Joe Mario here. I know I sounded like Gru. We almost had a guest appearance by Wario. That's right. Wario almost came in the form of Cousin Donnie, but Wario's outfit did not come, apparently. It was not shipped in time.
That's just so sad. What a sad thing. But I got to call him back. I owe him a phone call. But
let's shout him out, though, because Joe Pizzapia did make an appearance on Donnie's show.
I did.
You want to give a little promotion for that, Joey?
Yes. Shooting straight with Donnie C. Just me and Cousin Donnie talking. I don't know. I got to like put this. I'm gonna wear it like a mutton chop here. I'm going to be like a cool guy from the 70s for a little while. I don't know. This is just crazy. So let's get into the baseball. We got a lot to get to, and we've got to start here, obviously, with somebody getting paid. And that man is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He signs an agreement, 14 years, $500 million. Ooh, that is a lot right there. So let's talk about this, Welsh, because I don't think it's an accident that this weekend over at Citi Field, where he was chumming around with Lindor and Soto, and they were hanging out at batting practice together, and all this stuff was going on. And then the crowd was cheering Vlad Guerrero every at-bat. Every time they come up, all the fans, the Met fans, clapping, enjoying themselves. I think the Blue Jays got a little nervous there. So here's a question. I know, Vladimir Guerrero wins this because he gets paid $500 million. So he's the winner. But who are the winners here? Is it the Blue Jays making this investment? Is it Vlad? Could he have gotten to 6 if he went to the open market between the Yankees and the Mets and God knows who else might get into the mix there? Or do you think this is just the smart thing around for everybody to get in on this extension?
Vladdy got the coins and the Princess Peach.
He got so many coins. It's unbelievable. He got 100 coins. He got a free life for 14. He got a 14 of free lives. That's a lot.
This is 100%, by taking us serious, by the way, talking like this. This is 100% a Blue Jays win because nobody wants to go play there. You can't get any free agents. They're throwing all the money out there. They can't get Mario, Luigi, Wario, or Luigi, or whatever the fake Luigi is. They can't get anybody to come and play there. So this is a huge win because he gets to work as that catalyst to potentially bring back a guy like Bo. There's a lot of rumors about Bo maybe not coming back. So yeah, I mean, from a non-fantasy breakdown perspective, this is great. He's going to, be the catalyst to hopefully getting some free agents to come in, but it's no doubt a win for them. There's a little part of me that was thinking maybe he'd push even a little bit more with the market and teams. I mean, the Shohei Ohtani contract created a blueprint where it's no matter what that financial dollar looks like, the right players you can market and make money outside of baseball beyond belief. So, who cares? But yeah, this is a win for the Blue Jays.
I can tell you one thing. Kyle Tucker is going to make $600 million easily. That number's going to have a 6 in front of it because he's a great defensive player. He plays the outfield. Look, this is good on Vladdy. He got paid. Good on the Blue Jays. They finally got somebody. I haven't talked to Joe Arrico since this happened. I can only assume he is super excited about this. Finally, the Blue Jays got somebody. And I like when guys spend their whole careers basically in one spot. I think that's pretty cool. I am a throwback. I am romantic about baseball still. And it's nice when you have a player who just, comes through an organization, stays with an organization. And I'm not surprised it happened this weekend because I was watching the home opener and those guys were out there before batting practice, hanging out with each other, chumming around. And I get it. They're all countrymen. Everybody's hanging around. Everybody loving life. I don't know. They looked awful chummy together. And I think the ownership was like, we can't let this get any further. If it's 5 and that's the number that gets it done, let's just get it done. And they got it done. So their credit, good job. Also getting it done, Logan O'Hoppe, 4 homers in 4 days. An incredible start, 345, 367, 862 slash, 5 homers, 9 ribbies. Joey P's favorite catcher of the year, doing pretty good. Unfortunately, one of my other favorite cheaper catchers on the IL, more to come. Also a big Dodger pitcher going in the IL. We're going to break that down a little later. But speaking of the Dodgers, the Phillies take 2 from the Dodgers. If you watch the show on Friday, I gave you the Phillies plus 118 to stick the Dodgers with their first L, and they did. And then they won the series from them. The Phillies are not intimidated. Teoscar Hernandez, 2 homers. But Jose Alvarado, he's the closer, folks. I hate to break it to anybody who still got questions about it. He gets a second save. Castellanos hits a grand slam. Glasnow was no good. 5 runs, 2 innings for him, but that was really uncomfortable. He looked like he could not get his good footing on the mound at all. The weather was crappy. The whole situation was bad. Glasnow just looked completely uncomfortable. I would write this one off and not remember it at all. But your boy was terrific too. I want to shout him out because Christopher Sanchez, 9 strikeouts. So great day for the Phillies. Great day for Sanchez. Not a good day for Tyler Glasnow.
No, not a good day for Dodgers in general, as you're going to mention. By the way, it is just a delight watching you do this show and talk like this. You can't even see Joe's mouth. You actually look like Rorschach from like the Watchmen. You're just like, things are just moving around there.
I have to overemphasize for you to see my mouth.
That mustache is quite
too much.
Is quite incredible. And tune in for a little bit later. I will Yoshi impression it, as many people are mentioning here. But the Chris Sanchez thing, I think, is really important to talk about. There are quite a few pitchers I feel relatively in short term in the season vindicated to a couple of the guys that I was pounding the table on. I know everybody was pounding the table on Spencer Schwellenbach, but that was a day one guy for me, as well as talking about Christopher Sanchez being, kind of one of those like league winning type of players, and the high K percentage. ERA is still up, but his expected ERA is in the low 3s. He's giving up not a ton of barreled contact, 34% K percentage early on in the year. It's a big win. Whoopee!
Yeah. Woo! And also here a question, add Matthew Boyd and drop Bailey Oberg. No, I would not do that at all. I think that's a terrible move. No, it's going to be fine. Just relax. Mr. Tucker has been very good. New Mr. Cub. I don't know. Kyle Tucker, man, a little slow start those first couple games in Japan, but after that, a 2-run homer, RBI single, a walk against the Padres on Sunday. He is second in the majors in homers. He's got 5. He's got 15 ribbies. He's got 13 runs scored, 12 walks. So far, the Kyle Tucker move for the Cubs has been as designed, as delivered, and that's great. And I know a lot of people still have concerns about him in Wrigley Field at some point. Let's let all that play out. Let's just live in the awesome right now, and Kyle Tucker is living in that. Also, we had some good news and some prospect world stuff, or rookie lookies at least. Dylan Cruz 2 for 4 with a steal on Sunday, so he's not getting sent down. That's great. And we had a debut from Chase Dollander, who earned a victory over the Athletics in his first start in the major leagues. Now, was it perfect? No. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. He was able to work around some problems there. Dollander is a guy that, you talked about in the offseason, and I know we're always hesitant about pitching prospects in Colorado, but what were your takeaways from the Chase Dollander debut?
Yeah, I was very excited about that. I was actually on like a hike with my family, and I didn't do a bunch of betting, but I saw one bet on the board prior, and it was Chase Dollander's strikeouts at 3.5 yesterday. And I took the over, and that ended up smashing as I was going around the hike. I was peaking. And then when we got it, I was like, it's a beautiful day. And he looked pretty dang good rewatching. 43% fastball. His cutter looked really solid. He threw that 27% of the time. Interesting too, 4 pitch mix of 10% or more. The cutter and the changeup have similar velo characteristics, but it's just like the changeup ends up dying and the cutter just moves. 25 spin on it, 2,000 on the changeup, same velo, averaging around 89, touching 90. His curveball looked really gross too, 38% whiff rate. He had overall 10 total whiffs, 24% CSW, a little bit lower, but he's able to get in the zone, a little bit of a home run problem. I think that he is kind of a dude. And I had mentioned, I tweeted about it, I'm high on Dollander, even if he's in Colorado. I thought that was a good first start, even though there was a home run problem. I think he can get that going. And I think he is someone that in 12 teams, you should potentially look at the back end of your rotation. It's tough. Somebody asked me Jackson, Job, or him. Oh man, that's really, really tough. Job, maybe a tiny bit more sustainability, but I think Dollander's got some huge strikeout potential, and wait to see him out of Colorado as well.
Like the prospect, don't like the environment. I will be careful. I'm not saying he's not worth an ad. If your pitching staff is really bad, then okay, yeah, sure. You can add him and see what happens. But I think that you got to be very careful about the starts you make. We are going to get to more of your questions. I see a bunch of them. I'm very excited to see all the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks on such a beautiful day, celebrating 25,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. I can't wait to see what we're going to do for 30,000. Also, make sure you subscribe here. We're on Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros live. That's where we are, as my audio is muffled by my mustache here. But we are going to take a break from Mario and Luigi because it's Monday. And Mondays, we like to do a little segment called Prospecting with the Welsh. That's right. Prospecting with the Welsh is our favorite time to look down on the farm to see about some prospects that might be able to help your fantasy team. So let's talk to the Welsh about just that. Welsh, we had some Chase Dollander moments already making a debut. And speaking of the Rockies, we got another guy who just got called up in Zac Veen. So that's the guy everybody's talking about. If you were on the wire last night, you might have already picked him up. He's rostered in about 35-40% of leagues right now, hitting 387. Yeah. He's got a homer, 8 ribbies, 7 runs, a steal over 32 plate appearances. I was bitching and moaning last week about why are the Colorado Rockies keeping Zac Veen down and signing guys like Mickey Moniak. This makes no sense to me. So I can only assume that the Rockies GM was watching the show.
Well, we don't know what to do with this team in general because we would put Zac Veen on a higher list of watch, but they committed to Beck. They signed Mickey Moniak. They've got a lot of outfielders. So it's like, what are we doing here? So this one came as a non-surprise, if you know what I'm saying. But Veen has been a contact monster near the top of the tippy of the board as far as hits go. 12 hits in very, very short sample size, about a week of the minor league season. Stolen base, already put up a homer, hit 387 with a 472 OBP. What's really interesting about Veen is he's one of the most aggressive base stealers on the planet. Makes a lot of contact, kind of hits across his body. I've seen him for a couple years. Doesn't have really great max EVs. Is just a tall, skinny guy. But dude, he is. I'm telling you, if he gets on base in this first game, he is stealing immediately. So what you have is it's kind of Victor Scotty with him that, if he were to play the whole season and hit 270, legitimate shot at maybe stealing 50 bases, I think he's going to make a ton of contact, and Colorado opens up some of the offensive possibilities. So I think as a 5th outfielder, it makes him extra interesting. And to throw this out, my buddy Beck had put this out, and I think this is important to mention. This week is the end of the PPI. So PPI is where if a team has a prospect up, by opening day, if that guy gets Rookie of the Year, they get an extra pick. well, you got to bring a prospect up by this week. I believe it's by Wednesday or Thursday, that if a prospect is up and it's with the team for the season and wins Rookie of the Year, they get compensation. So Veen is now eligible for that. Maybe that opens up for a few other players, but Veen is a 12-team look right now.
Certainly the stolen base is, I think, a huge part of this equation too. With the rules changes recently, I mean, there's a guy with a 50 steal season a couple years ago in 90 games. So the stolen base are going to be there. So if you're in head-to-head category leagues, look, he still got some swing and miss in the game, but you can overlook that as long as he's finding ways to get on base and he's finding ways to hit with some power.
And if Colorado opens up, if he opens up the offensive potential just by a few other margins, a non-hit turns into a double turns into a homer, like that's where things can really change at home games. So also watch his splits. That's what we'll do.
All right. We're also watching Nick Kurtz. We talked about him last week and we're talking about him still because the hot streak has not gone away. Another homer, his 4th home run in 8 games. So the problem is Soderstrom's hitting. Brent Rooker's not going anywhere, right? So we're trying to find some room at the end here for this guy, and it's going to be a little tricky. But if Kurtz continues to hit like this, you got to figure something out, whether it means he's grabbing an outfield glove or Brent Rooker is going to play some more outfield. I don't know what the answer is here, but Welsh, we've got to start making some room for Nick Kurtz because I don't see how another, 30 days of this sort of productivity is going to keep him down on the farm.
Well, I'm wearing the A's sell shirt. So sell these other players and get Nick Kurtz up. If I were to give you a bold prediction, it would be that the A's would try to do something this week to bring him up. I purposely brought him up last week when it maybe wasn't as popular that he could come up simply because he is blocked, but he's been amazing. I do this little sheet on my ITL Patreon that I mentioned the top 25 prospects to stash. And I moved him to number 1 because he's hitting over 400. He's got 4 homers already, 14 hits. He's got a 459 OBP, strikeouts down. He's walking. He's literally doing everything. You just want to see them do something. I don't know how they do it. I think it would be advantageous for the A's to bring up a guy like Kurtz right now, especially if they foresee, and then maybe this will be telling, by the way, if you foresee that Kurtz is going to be on this roster a decent amount this year, why not bring him up now and put yourself in a position where the Rookie of the Year candidate is open, that you could get him out there and maybe you could get another 1st-round pick, change the organization. I wonder if they think about that. But as we mentioned, he's blocked. Soderstrom is ridiculous right now. We haven't seen them experiment with Rooker in the outfield or anything like that. But I would not be shocked if he came up this week due to PPI. Otherwise, he is one of the most you have to watch him bats if he is called up.
Also, off to a very good start and maybe rocketed for the major leagues ticket very soon. Travis Bazzana, second base prospect of the Guardians. Look, he's hitting a double-A home run on Saturday. Really good. Homer, 2 singles, and a double. The next day, he's got 4 hit game, his first of his pro career. So Bazzana is a guy that is probably going to rocket through double-A. My guess is by May, he's in triple-A. I don't think they're going to give him more of a month if he keeps this up. And then I do believe this is a player you're going to see sooner than later because the Guardians want to compete and Bazzana basically has a clear path to this job. So I love how we're seeing all these guys from last year's draft already just kind of rocket through. I know Cam Smith is struggling right now, but Bazzana fast track, Caglianone we're going to talk about in a second, Kurtz. It's really been a solid draft. And last year when we talked about the draft, I loved this draft. I thought it was a really best draft we've had in a long time. So Bazzana, what is your take on him, and when do you think we actually see him in Cleveland?
Yeah, I would also say, not a lot of people liked this draft. I think it is going to go down as one of the best first-year player drafts in fantasy, from the top guys in Bazzana and Caglianone down to where Cam Smith is gone, Christian Moore, and the pitchers, Hagen, Smith, and Chase Bird. The first round went from to incredible. There's so much talent, high school kids, and Bazzana leads the tippy top of this. I legitimately thought out of camp they might consider even pushing him to the majors. He was playing in the minor league spring training games. He was playing with high A in minor league spring training, and then they moved him up to double. Dude's hitting over 500 right now in a very, it started on Friday, of course. But I think you laid it out pretty properly. I wouldn't be shocked if by the end of this month he's at AAA. And if this team is highly competitive in the division, which they clearly are, I don't know if they've got great options at second base that could hold him back. I would not be shocked if we saw him at some point in May. Maybe they want to get that Super 2 stuff out of the way first. But I do expect to see Travis Bazzana mid-year. So do you want to speculate on him now if you've got NA spots? If you hold a roster spot, no, you would be better off if Kyron Paris is still sitting out there, like go and filling it with that instead of speculating. But Bazzana should be up in the near future.
Paris, I mean, the track record is not there for me. I'm not buying this stretch for him. Jac Caglianone at a 460-foot homer. My God, it almost went out of the entire ballpark. It was wild. It was like the back row of the grass section where you could sit there and just hang out with your family.
Dude.
And just bring chairs.
He hit a 504-foot homer, according to him, in AFL that I was there to watch. I videoed it. I never seen anything like it. And I talked to him the next day, and he said the data in the dugout said 504 nonchalantly. It is 70, 80 grade. I mean, it's close to 80 grade power as you can possibly get. Yeah, he is going to be a masher, and you just got to watch the contact and strikeouts. I do expect we will see Jack at some point this year, but I think people feel like it's going to be sooner. That I don't. I don't think they're going to rush him. I think you would need a big injury to a guy like Vinny Pasquantino mid-year for them to consider it, though. So he's kind of like Bazzana. You don't want to get too aggressive. You should NA him if you've got like some type of rookie NA spot, but holding a bench spot right now in most 12 or 15s is I don't think it's super smart.
All right, one more guy to talk about and then two guys to watch. Andrew Painter, we just got the word that they're looking to bring him back sometime early July, late July. That's kind of what our time frame is. But look, this Phillies pitching staff has been so good. I'm not expecting Painter to make a huge impact, and I can't imagine them using him in the bullpen either. I think that would be the last thing the Phillies want to do with this kid. So it's going to be some sort of starting role. Maybe at some point he makes a couple spot starts. Maybe the playoffs. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not holding my breath for this. I think this is more of a 2026 thing. But what do you think about Painter and his potential arrival in July?
I do like that they've already told us. I love Painter. I talked to him, got to see all his starts in the AFL last year, talked to him a bunch. Super smart guy, great pitch mix, fast. I mean, just everything is there. He's pro ready. But they're really, really babying him like hardcore. And they've told us like he's not even going to be an option until July. But I think that July marker, they are going to push him. The only thing that could hold it back is if the rotation is pitching well. Chris Sanchez is pitching well. Jesus Luzardo is pitching well. We'll see with Ranger. But what I would say is around June, I would speculate on Painter, not any further, just like the other prospects we talked about. Around June is when I would pick him up just in case they get pushed up and watch how the rotation is doing. Because when he's up, he's going to be a guy that you're definitely going to want to roster.
All right, real quick, Welsh, give me two more guys to watch here before we get out of prospecting with the Welsh.
Yep, two last players just to keep an eye on, both AAA players. If you're looking for infield help, Chase Meidroth, that we've mentioned with the White Sox, they've got a bunch of dudes. Chase Meidroth hitting .333, 3 homers. He's got 2 stolen bases, 7 walks to 4 strikeouts. They've got room on that infield with the White Sox, and PPI maybe could be something for him. And then finally, the fastest man in the minor leagues, Chandler Simpson, hitting almost 300. He's got 11 hits in the minors since it started in AAA, 5 stolen bases. And this is a guy that just the other day beat out a ground out to first base. Yes, he grounded the ball out to first base and he beat out. He's the fastest dude in all of baseball. Him and Victor Scott are great friends. I talked to Victor about it. Chandler is the guy. He makes a lot of contact, not a poor bat. And he is a literally ground out to shortstop. I'm getting on and I'm going to steal a ton of bases. So I think the Rays are Mangum and Meisner are kind of interesting, but they've got this like just weird collection of outfielders that you could see Chandler in the near future. And he will be the stolen base guy to push if you are looking to chase that while you're prospecting with me, the Welsh.
There you go. And that, my friends, is Prospecting with the Welsh. Join us every Monday live on Leading Off on Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros, twitch.tv/FantasyPros. That's the place to be for Prospecting with the Welsh live. And of course, you can always watch us video on demand on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We're at 25,000 subscribers and growing every single day. All right, we're back to this. Woo! All right, so let's rock some questions in here too, because we've got a lot of stuff going on here today. We're having some fun. Here's one from B, looking to make a pickup from the waiver wire, Veen or Jordan Walker. I would be picking up Jordan Walker. Your thoughts?
Jordan Walker, my friends, I believe he is at the tippy top of bat speed right now. He's barreling. He's the dude. And as Yoshi would say,
that's actually not bad. Solar Flare, drop Robles for Veen.
No, I would have to IL Robles. Robles had a bad. I was told not to watch it. I don't like bad injuries. Everyone knows that.
I watched it. It was rough.
If someone sends it to me, you get blocked. I don't do injuries, but it sounds like
I don't think it was that bad. I mean, look, it was definitely bad, but it wasn't like, oh God, gross like that. It wasn't that.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
But there you go. All right, let's get to some fun facts. Fun facts here. I can't talk with this mustache. It's crazy. Here we go. Mets staff is first in starting pitcher ERA, relief pitcher ERA, opponent's OPS 573, and home runs per 9.5. So the starting pitcher ERA as a collective is 2.40. The relief pitcher ERA is 1.29. So everybody made fun of all the Mets pitching staff. I don't think they're making fun right now. I'm telling you that whatever they've done here in this new Stearns regime, you got to pay attention to when you see these guys starting to pop off. Also fun, the San Francisco Giants, not the Dodgers, are in first place right now in the West. I don't know how long that's going to last, Welsh, but I just wanted to give the Giants some love. Pitching's been solid. Helio Ramos has been terrific. Willie Adames hasn't hit yet, but I assume that he is going to. I think we got to give a little love to the Giants here on a Monday morning, where they sit atop of a division that's got the Padres who've been red hot, the Dodgers who've been red hot, but it's the Giants right now who have the best record in baseball. How about that?
Yeah, and the NL West is probably the most competitive division. I know the AL East is right there, but the NL West with how the Padres have been and the Dodgers. So I think they're a super sneaky team. I will say they are striking out like crazy offensively. They could probably use some type of offensive bat in a trade, but their rotation is getting by right now.
Here's one from Derek. Picking up Jung-Hoo Lee or Veen? Who do you want to pick up?
I would go with Lee. I guess I'm not as optimistic. I feel like people are wanting to drop like really solid outfielder fives, and there's not a lot we know about Veen. But Veen is fun to speculate on.
Here's one: drop Cruz for Victor Scott.
No.
Okay. There you
go. Wait, for Victor Scott. I thought it was Veen.
Victor Scott. Cruz.
I'm going to still say no, man. I'm going to hope that 2-hit game Cruz is kind of get back going. It's been really gross. I'm going to hope he's bouncing back.
All right. Speaking of bouncing back, let's talk about the 3 ups. We've got Jackson Chourio homered twice, drove in 5 runs. The Brewers beat the Reds 8-2. Boy, the Reds are all or nothing. They either score 1 run or like 100. This team has got no in between of them right now.
Rough outing today too. You got Hunter Green versus Logan Webb. I think it is crazy matchup. So they're going to need some runs.
Seriously, I don't know if they're going to get any, but good to see Chourio bouncing back after a slow start weekend in New York. Alex Bregman, he was very good. 4 for 5, 2 doubles, a homer. They played a double dip yesterday. And guess who was good? Rafael Devers, 4 for 4, a pair of doubles, 4 runs scored, 3 RBI, a home run in the first game of the doubleheader. So a great day for him. Let me just caveat it and saying that the Cardinals pitching is terrible. The Cardinal pitching staff is a complete dumpster fire, okay? The rotation is bad. The bullpen might be worse, or probably is worse. It's bad. So
can I ask you something?
I'm glad he had a good day at the plate. I'm glad he's starting to pull himself out of it. Am I completely not concerned anymore about Devers? No, not yet. Okay. But I want to give credit where credit is due. I'm gonna shout out Rafi Devers because he had a really good day yesterday, especially, and certainly the numbers starting to tick back up. Let's see how it plays out against somebody besides the Cardinals.
I thought you were going to give credit where credit was due to me for being the one that wasn't selling and panicking and freaking out, because I was the one that was like, I actually would buy on him. But that was my question is like, are you backing off your stance of getting him the hell out of Dodge and not buying on him?
Not yet. Although now that the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signing has happened, it becomes infinitely more interesting to teams that might be kicking tires on third baseman. Just saying, something to watch. Now, if you're trying to keep up with everything going on in fantasy baseball, make sure you're using My Playbook. Manage your fantasy baseball lineups and dominate your leagues with My Playbook from FantasyPros. It's a suite of the most powerful tools to help you make better decisions, manage your lineups, and win your leagues, because that's what it's all about. You'll get custom news for your teams, your players, rankings, and analysis. Sync your leagues for free today. Set all your lineups for all your leagues just on My Playbooks app at fantasypros.com/MLB My Playbook, or download Fantasy Baseball My Playbook app today, wherever you get your apps from. With the ups come the downs. Miles Mikolas, not good. Mikolas gave up 9 runs, 8 earned, 11 hits, and 2 2/3 innings. That's pretty awful. Bryan Wu, Also not a good day for him against the Giants, who can't be stopped. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 6 innings of work. And then Corbin Burns was charged with 4 runs over 5 innings on Sunday. So Corbin Burns, to me last year, that little bit of a fade for him was noticeable. I don't know if it was pressure. I don't know if he just wasn't right health-wise. But I feel like we are removed from the days of Corbin Burns being... You remember those stretch Corbin Burns had a couple years ago when he opened the season? He had like 60 strikeouts and 2 walks. Remember that Corbin Burns? It was just filthy dominant. It's been a while since we've seen that guy. I'm not freaking out about Corbin Burns, but are you a little worried here of what the Diamondbacks purchase at this stage of his career?
I mean, it's kind of loaded. Like, I'm worried about the early stuff with him. He made this pitch mix change. I think it was last year where he went, let me open this up. I think it went more primary. I guess it was the cutter percentage was kind of all over the board. And it was, he had added the slider in, and he kind of did the slider thing again this year while dumping down the changeup. So the changeup is the thing that's really gone by. I guess the problem would be so far for this season is the cutter velo is down by essentially almost like 1.5 miles. So, I mean, that is down in general. Yeah, which is, it's significant enough. And then the slider is just not efficient right now. That is down about 1 mile per hour as well. It's not getting whiffs, but it's very, very early on in the season. It's a little bit of a different environment. You were in a pitcher-friendly environment in Baltimore. It's more hitter-friendly in Arizona, tough division and stuff like that. I'm not sure I would read much into it at this point, but I kind of know what you're saying. Like, if you think the eliteness is behind, I don't. I think there's a lot of offensive run support out there. Defense, it hasn't really been there. Diamondbacks were like one of the best defensive teams last year. They're crap this year. Mm-hmm. So we have to see that kind of adjust. But, the last thing is, like, we saw Burns have kind of like a tale of 2 halves as well. He was great in the first half. He struggled in the second half, and you just cross your fingers it doesn't carry over. If you give me 2 more starts, I am going to start worrying. But maybe to what you're alluding to, that might be too late. So I can understand if someone is worrying. It's a 5 ERA. Expected is the same. The stuff is down a little bit. I'm not sure it's over, but I need at least 1 more before I start even reacting to it.
I was a fade of Burns coming into the year, and I went on record in saying that I thought Gallen was a better return on investment at his ADP than Burns was at his. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
You're right, though. I think, let's give it 1 more before we start really trying to get out of it. But it's going to be tricky. I love that Sabo Goggles backing me up. I love Sabo. Devers was still late on all his swings, and the Cardinals pitching is so bad he had everything oppo. That's right, he did. And they were terrible. Here's a question from McGrady. Are we expecting tight pants Robbie Ray to get his strikeout rate back before Tommy John? Well, the strikeout rate was pretty good in the spring. So my answer is yes, Welsh. I do expect that to return. Your answer?
Yeah, I didn't know if the question was going to be like, do we expect his pants to get tighter? You ever see those memes where it's like, for every 100 likes, we'll make someone's head bigger. It's like, for every 100 likes, we'll get Robbie Ray's pants even tighter.
Everybody's talking about my tight pants.
I would expect so. It's a 13% K percentage. That's not going to stick. I think he will get right here. It's very early to kind of focus on that type of stuff. Reds today, that if you were the Reds would be like a good get back type of game.
Get 10 today. Wally World, Tolia, Soderstrom, Nate Lowe, or Manzardo rest of season. If you can only have one, who do you want?
Dude, this is tough. If you guys listen on Friday, I talked up Nate Lowe, and then I think he hit a homer on that Friday or Saturday. I guess I would still go Manzardo. Tolia looks the worst right now. That one I can't really get out from under. Soderstrom looks so good and low. I think it's just Tolia is like down. So he's the one not on the list.
Has his tight pants on, as I expect at all times. And, look, maybe you don't feel great anymore. You're getting older. Maybe those tight pants don't fit anymore. Or you're a little tired. No. Maybe recovery takes a little longer. And maybe your performance at the gym or, in sports just isn't what it used to be. These could all be signs, Luigi, of low testosterone and a condition affecting about 30% of adult men in America. And you know what? Kysotrex is an FDA-approved testosterone replacement therapy designed for men just like you. It's not an injection. No. It's not a gel. Of course not. It is a daily, twice pill that fits seamlessly into your active lifestyle. And we here live a very active lifestyle. As you can see, we're hopping into warp tubes. We're running around, chasing coins. It's crazy, the kind of lifestyle that Welsh and I live. And hopefully Kaisertrex can help restore your testosterone to its optimal levels. And, you can't let low T hold you back. So visit Kaisertrex.com to learn more and find a provider near you who can help you get started today at Kaisertrex.com. That's KYZATREX.com. By prescription only, Kaisertrex is a controlled substance and can be a target of abuse. So don't abuse the Kaisertrex. How dare you? Just be responsible. Kaisertrex is not for use if you're a pregnant woman for obvious reasons. So don't do that. If you're a man with prostate or breast cancer, you should also not use it. Safety and efficacy in those younger than 18 is unknown. So you got to be over 18 in order to vote and to use the Kaisertrex, okay? Tell your doctor about all the medical conditions and medications you're on. Serious side effects could include increased blood pressure, worsening prostate symptoms, increased risk of prostate cancer, blood clots in their legs, lungs, decreased sperm count, liver problems, enlarged or painful breasts, and breathing problems while you sleep. Common side effects, though, include swelling of the ankles, feet, or body, increased red blood cell count, increase in prostate-specific antigen or PSA levels. PSA is a test used to detect prostate cancer, by the way, and report these symptoms to your doctor immediately. Call your doctor to learn more about Kaisertrex today. For questions and more information, visit Kaisertrex.com or call 1-833-949-5040 to learn more today. That's Kaisertrex. All right.
You know what I want to do? I wish we could play the first, the very first level of the first Mario. See if the read finishes first, or you could beat the level of Mario first.
Hey, look, if your princess is in another castle, it's probably because you weren't using Kaisertrex.
If you're a little Mario and you want to become the big Mario, you need the Kaisertrex.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, Oh my God, that was terrifying. This is why you watch the YouTube channel, kids. Subscribe today. We're giving away free stuff. More on that. Let's do the injuries real quick. Blake Snell. Oh, this is crushing. This is so sad. 15-day IL, left shoulder inflammation. He won his first start, but he wasn't great. The next start wasn't good. He threw a bullpen session Sunday morning. No timetable yet. Welsh, what's your panic meter here on Snell?
I mean, we talked about Simeon and these guys. It's not, the panic level's pretty low. They're babying him. They've got 1,200 pitchers. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. The first half last year was the biggest disaster on the planet for him. He ended up being the number one pitcher in the second half. So might be a buying opportunity. Let's monitor the injury. But, the Dodgers, their pitchers get hurt. They have to baby him back. I'm not this sucks, but you had to expect this. There are pitchers that you have to build in the missed time. I think Snell was one of those, just like it would be DeGrom.
Lucerios here. Yanner Diaz was dropped in my league, and Ivan Herrera's on the IL. Should I claim him? Yes. Pick up Diaz right now. 100%. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have Diaz rest of season anyway. So that's crazy. I'm a little concerned about the shoulder issue. Welsh is right. It's April, but this really is throwing a damper. And what did I just say on Friday? What can stop the Dodgers? Injuries in playoff format? Yeah. Here we go. I mean, could you imagine if Glasnow just wasn't right somewhere else? I thought he was just uncomfortable. He seemed like he had a hard time gripping the ball in the weather. He seemed like he hated the mound in Philadelphia. He was constantly picking it.
He the whole hates thing was the first half. It's like that. I mean, this is going to age me here, but this is like the Jerk. If you remember the Jerk, he hates these cans. He hates the first half more than anything.
Well, he's not used to it. Usually Tyler Glasnow, he's not used to pitching in bad weather because typically he doesn't start the year until June, and he never really finishes the season. So he's never pitching in October or September very much. So, I mean, this is kind of weird. He's like, what is this? What is this 55 degrees you speak of? Tyler Glasnow, no likey. Mariners infielder Victor Robles ran into a wall. He's on the IL. Terrific play, but man, it's April, kid. Slow down. We talked earlier and mentioned this about Ivan Herrera, the knee going to the IL. It was just inflammation, though. No structural damage. So that's the good news. But unfortunately, he's going to miss some time. Royce Lewis with a hamstring has been hitting and doing some light running. Welsh, have you done any light running this week?
I was out hiking yesterday and a little light running out.
That's hiking. Is that light running?
Yeah, there's a little bit of running in there. There's a little bit of light running. I'm actually a runner. As much as I don't look it, I am a runner. So
do you hold the B button down and run really, really fast like I do?
You go,
that's what Mario does.
Yeah.
That's how I run. And also, despite pinch hitting on Saturday, Matt McClain's still out yesterday. So keep an eye. He's day-to-day with hamstring tightness. That's never good. But you know what is good, Welsh? The best bets
of the day
with a Joey P and the Welsh, and then we're gonna do the best bets here. I'll put the mustache back on for this bit because it's a fun. You can try. So I gave you the Dodgers. They won a game against the Phillies. They beat the Dodgers last week. I got you money on that, so that's a nice. Today I got a skinny parlay and I got a Logan Gilbert for you. So Logan Gilbert over 6.5 strikeouts, -106. Then I want to take Francisco Lindor to score a run. It's -150, but I'm going to pair it with Juan Soto to get an RBI today at +165. You put those two things together, you get 249. So there you go, +249 for Lindor to score and Juan Soto to drive in anybody, including himself. I like that today against the Miami Marlins, and Balazzo is pitching today. So give me a crack at that. Welsh, take us through your best bets of the day, because I see you are also on Mr. Logan Gilbert as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to do a voice. I can't do the impression. I can only do weird ones. I will say this. Sable said I run with sandals. I do. I'm a sandals guy. Funny enough, we had a little bet behind the scenes. I don't know if we're going to count this, but we said with our boy Callie, over under for this week on typos was 0.5. And Joe and I smashed the over. Hunter Green's name is spelled wrong, but I don't know. I don't know if we want to hit him with it because it is still Green. I did type it correctly, but
it's wrong.
Wah, wah.
So,
sorry,
Callie. It took you one show, Callie. One show.
Sorry, Callie. I'm doing I got a little parlay in here as well. I got Logan Gilbert, Hunter Green at 6+ strikeouts. I believe they're both around 6.5. Hunter Green, I got to tell you, it might even be a play to play the alt and go to 8. He struck out 8 though in his last 2, but the Giants are like bottom 3 in the league in strikeouts per game, as in they are striking out. So I like that. Houston is also in the top 10 of strikeouts as far as hitters go. So both of these guys, it's a good bet. You're getting even money. You want to play it to 7, you could totally do that. I'm just playing it down a little bit. 6 comboed. Michael King, 7 strikeouts. You're getting +115. I really like that one. I know the A's have been a little bit more patient, but they have given up some seven strikeout games to pitchers. Michael King is coming off a huge one. Chase Dollander struck out 6 yesterday while getting hit a little bit. I like Michael King at 7 strikeouts, and St. Louis, Pittsburgh over 8 total runs. I believe the Cardinals are averaging like 6 runs per game right now. Their offense is kind of going. We got two not great pitchers going in Liberatore and Mazinski, or however you say it. So I'm going to go over the 8 total runs on St. Louis and Pittsburgh. I believe they're both averaging around 9. You have a push potential on it. So those are my 3 best bets of the day.
Make sure if you're going to place your bets, you go ahead over to fantasypros.com/leading off. New customers place their first bet at $5. You win. You get $200 in bonus bets over on FanDuel. Again, that's fantasypros.com/leading off today. And you can go check out Betting Pros today as well. Download the Betting Pros app. Use the Betting Pros tools so you can be more successful in placing all of your bets. All right, home run board time. Obviously, a good weekend for the Welsh. You had Matt Olson. I got 1 from Brent Rooker. I'm not on the board because I've only got 2. But Razor up at the top at 8. Welsh not on the board, so congrats to Razor, still holding strong through the weekend. I'll make this simple. I'm going with Juan Soto, my Juan in my heart, +400 today. If you want to bet him to hit that homer, I'm taking Juan Soto today. Welsh, who are you taking?
I'm taking a new mustache here. I'm going to go with Mr. Fernando Tatis Jr. versus Luis Severino. Severino gave up a couple homers. I believe it was in the last start, or it was the first one though. But I think Tatis is going to get one. We're going big fly on Fernando.
There you go. Big fly on Fernando. Look, we went a little long today. I know we were talking about the 0 for 5, what we're going to call it. I think we'll bring that back tomorrow. So if you want to vote in that poll live to be a part of, is it the Cinco Stinko? Is it the, what was it? The spicy margarita, the Kaiser Trex, right? That was also on there.
Yeah. Cinco Stinko and spicy margarita were my favorites.
Yes. We will throw the Kaiser Trex in there too, but there was another one too that was pretty amusing. We'll have to find that last one, but the Malort, that was the last one. Thank you, Fantasy Pros. See, Michael Callie might not be able to spell, but he has a good memory. So there you go. So there's some positive things there. Also, real quick before we go today, let's shout out some of our new subscribers here on the Twitch channel. And remember, subscribe on the YouTube channel. We've got lots of short videos. You can see we're helping you with the cycle, getting the 2-star pitchers. Over the weekend, they give you some more names to pick up. We do the waiver wire video too. There's 2 waiver videos out there, different perspectives for you. 2 buy and sell videos. We got so much content to help you crush all of your competition. Welsh, shout out some of our new friends.
Yeah, we had in the last like 5 minutes, we all wear 42, McGrady TFT, both subscribed with Prime. A couple people were asking about it. It's a pretty easy search. You can just link your Prime account to Twitch. You get an automatic sub, gets rid of those ads, and you can get on the home run board. We also had Derek at the top, Derek Master, and a bunch of follows. You guys are absolutely killing it. We are on the road to 100 subs. I'm hoping we are going to get this in April. So keep rocking with that. We'll celebrate with you guys. And we are closing in on 650 follows. So thank you for everybody's support here. And of course, everybody on the YouTube. Drop your comments in the YouTube section. We're checking those out. We're answering and make it a part of the show. We love you all.
Yeah, I mean, more milestones. We could do something stupid for 100 subs. We could 30,000 now is the new goal on the YouTube channel. Who knows? I mean, we've done mullets now. We've done Mario and Luigi. So drop your comments below. What is the next milestone you'd like to see us get to and embarrass ourselves? That's what it's all about here. And we're all for you here. The Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Luigi, I'm a Mario. That'll do it for us. Bye-bye. I see you next time. Woo! I think this show is in another castle. That's all I know. Should I take it as a mushroom? What will it do to me? Who needs the mushrooms when you have the Kaiser tricks? That's what I say. It makes me fireballs. That's what it does. Fireballs all the day.
Balls. Oh.